How y'all doing today? Y'all rocking with Burst Soul Radio.
This isn't a song, everybody should get down. Oh yes, oh yes.
And you're rocking with Mr. Burst Soul himself. Thank you. Tonight episode, we want to talk about hardship and relationships. And I want to start off by talking about hardships. We all go through them on our day-to-day, whether it's work, at home, school, just out anywhere. We all deal with hardships. And I want to start off with financial hardships that we go through. I feel like we start off as kids, we all have a dream of what our life would be like, what we want, what kind of house, what kind of car, how many kids, and that never goes away. We kind of, deter from the path. How many people out there wanted to be police officers, firefighters, NBA players, lawyers, doctors, you name it. Them dreams are still there. We just moved away from them through distractions. And those hardships of not having the financial aspects to do those things kind of, reshaped us. But for those who stayed that course and made that path, they stay focused on their goals and ambition. Just because you got kids don't mean you can't be a doctor. Just because you got kids don't mean you can't be a lawyer. Just a harder path to go. Or just because you don't have the money don't mean you can't be these things. You just got to grind a little bit harder. I believe in trying to make dreams come true. And I believe that you can do anything you put your mind to. In the working field, you don't have to always be at the bottom. There's ways to climb. And you got to put in the hard work to climb those ladders, especially if it's something that you like to be at and it's great benefits to climb. Climb the ladder. Who said you got to start off? If you work at McDonald's, you don't have to be on fries forever. You don't have to be on flipping burgers forever. You can get it up to being a supervisor, store manager, or who knows, possibly if you learn the business good, you can own your own store. These are things that we can reach. It's best to try to format or be disruptive and change something about your life. Decision making is very key too as well. We got to make better decisions out here. What's more important, getting car insurance or buying Jordans? And I'm not just saying that for anybody, to take offense. I understand, it's cool to look fly, but when you can't pay them bills and you can't pay that rent, what is Michael Jordan doing for you? Nothing. So it's best to, try to invest your money in the right way. I tell people all the time, hey, you like Jordan so much, why don't you go ahead and invest in Jordans, Invest in a company. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Getting a little bit of something when you do buy those Jordans. What y'all think, audience? Do you think they can get that? Thank you. I know. So like I said to myself, I like Nikes. I like to buy Nike socks. So what I did, I went out and bought me a stock in Nike. Why not get something for something? These are the things that is growing around us. Facebook, try to get a stock in Facebook. I mean, you spend most of your time on it. Why not get paid for it? These are the ideas that I come up with to try to elaborate on life. It's all about decision making. I made a lot of good and bad decisions. And some decisions kept me alive. Some decisions, ended up, I had to pay consequences. Not saying that I went to jail or anything, but, when you do wrong, things happen. But I was willing to accept those as a man, and I stood up and took my consequences, and I made better decisions next time. Which leads me to my next topic, of relationships. Oh yeah, I said it. Relationships, which is one of the hardest things that, we've been dealing with in 2018, especially the millennium babies and even the old babies, we all deal with them. Relationship issues, how to build the greatest relationship, how to be a power couple. Well, I got some answers. I'm not the guru, but I got a couple answers and a couple ways to go about that, or some couple ideas to think about. We all start off with decisions when we approach and want to be in a relationship. You meet the right couple people, you meet the one person to treat you right, and you meet that one person with all the swag, that, hey, really kind of ignore you, don't really pay you that much attention, but hey, this person is interested. The person that treats you right normally might be not your cup, or might be just a little lame, might not be that exciting or extravagant, but hey, they treat you right. And I know, like, us as men, we make decisions based off looks and a lot of things. We don't really worry about too much treatment unless, once you go into the relationship, then you worry about how good somebody treating you. You don't worry about. So the decisions for us is we just need to redirect our energy not just on looks alone, but brains and how that person really treats you. Women, which is one of God's greatest creatures he ever created, the decisions have to be made differently. I tell people all the time, like, you get two options, and you keep picking that guy with the swag who don't pay you no attention because you want to change him. That's not going to work. Why not work with somebody who's actually treating you right, who's going an extra mile just to get your attention, who's actually showing that they're into you, versus that person who really can care left or right, pay you attention when they feel like it. Which brings me to my point of building. I believe in building a foundation, friendship, you got a strong friendship, everything else to play its part. And that's where we get away from being friends. Like, half the time, most relationships crash because the other person don't know too much about that person. Don't know their favorites, what they like to do, how to even click on all cylinders. A lot of relationships grow better because they have a foundation, a friendship. Which you've seen these long relationships where people are together for 40, 20 years. The thing they had is a friendship. We all want to be loved. We all want to be cared about. But it's the steps that we do to get there. And I understand that 100%. So I believe in building. Build that foundation. A house, they just don't put a house on the ground. Start with the basement. So you got to get the basics. Fill that person out. Know that person. Enjoy. And ask questions to elaborate, to grab understanding, know who that person is, what they've been through. And once you know that, it builds a better foundation. So you know how to even deal with that person or understand where they come from. I also, I think about recovery. For people that's been in past relationships that crashed and burned, it's recovery. I'm telling you cannot jump into a relationship with baggage from the last relationship. You cannot. Because that baggage that you bring from that last relationship only disrupt the new balance, the new blessings. And it just tears the whole situation down. For example, we all have somewhat trust issues because our last relationships didn't work the way we, wanted them to work. Well, I think, hey, when you break up, it's time to reflect. It's time to, hey, what didn't I do right? We all know what the other person did, but what didn't I do right? Instead of taking the negative, the easy approach, I ain't trusting nobody else, or I ain't dealing with this person, I ain't dealing with that type of person. No, let's self-reflect on ourselves. What didn't I do right? What could I have done better? Did I say the right things at the right moments? Was I there for that person? Understand that and hear what the other person is complaining about to you. If it's consistently the same thing over and over again, then that's the issue. That is the problem. Men, we got to stop cheating. Hey, that just, hands down, we got to stop cheating. Like, I know some men are pushed to do different things based off, their how the relationship is going, but it's not acceptable. Let's not let that be the reason why we go separate from the ladies. Let it be another reason. And if it's not working and you're not happy, it's okay to take a break. If they worth it, take a break. If not, then go find what you're looking for. Let's not waste more time than we are already. And I don't believe in wasting time, but let's not keep the same energy over and over again. Ladies, I know the times is different. You gotta let that man lead sometimes. Sometimes it's okay. It's okay. Being submissive is okay. It don't mean you weak, but it's okay. We all want to be treated equal. Let's do equal roles there. Let's let that person lead. Let that man lead. If he's leading you the right way, let him lead. Not saying that you ain't gonna lead. Woman always lead, but let that man lead sometimes. And understand what you want. Both parties need to understand what they want, what they're looking for, and build that combination. It's sad that, we chase people that don't want us. Like, we go hell and hot water for somebody who can care less for us. Instead of embracing the person that's, hey, I'm here. I got your back. I got you. You need it, I got you. More embracing those. And that's in some friendships as well. That's definitely in friendships. I see a lot of people chasing friends that don't even care about them. Don't go the extra mile for them. Don't have their best interests, and we chase those people and we distance ourselves from the people that actually care, that's actually been there. We got to stop doing that. We got to look in the mirror and say, hey, look, this person is here for me. This person cares enough to see me winning, always support me, thinking, making me feel good. And this is the person you need to keep around. That negative person that always comes with negative energy, let that person go, or distance yourself. Sometimes you got to distance yourself from those type of people because they're draining. So that goes with the recovery part and understanding. We have to start understanding each other. Understanding is the very fundamental of everything, man. Once you grasp that understanding, it's easy to talk. And we need to listen more. Listen, take it in, then respond. Let's stop trying to listen so we can respond real quick and don't even get the point. When you listen, you understand, you can respond and put yourself in that other person's shoes. I do it all the time. Like, if the situation, hey, how do you feel if I did the same thing you did to me? And that's how I deal with the situation. If they tell me how they would deal with it, then I do it as such. This is how I move because you gave me the advice to deal with how you would handle you. See, and a lot of people don't like that. They don't like, being handled in that way. But it's only the honest truth. Hey, if you think it was cool for you to do it like that, then you got to think it's cool for everybody else to do it like that. And that's how things go. And it's just a building process. Everything is a building process. Don't be too hasty. Progress every day. Progress. All together, it's a progression. When you're in hardship, it's a progression. I was listening to a video and this great motivational speaker, Eric Thompson, he said, the question was, what if the slaves would have gave up? What would he been? What if Harriet Tubman would have said, hey, I'm not going back for them. I'm free. What would have been said? The great leaders, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, all of them, we got to progress as people and see our